An ad on Facebook is really just bait.
When you're on Facebook, you move to another platform or another landing page and you're taken somewhere that doesn't make any sense. You're like, people are just going to like drop off.
You may catch fish, you're just not going to catch the kind of fish that you intend on catching.
Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klavio. Klavio's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klavio helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klavio integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klavio's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klavio, visit klavio.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real, the holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inboxes flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com.
You're listening to eCommerce Uncensored with Kevin Manel and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of eCommerce Uncensored. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
First off, Jason, let me say congratulations on your new house.
Thank you.
It's nice seeing that plain, even though it's a plain white wall, it's better than that beach floral pattern you had at your Airbnb.
Yeah. Well, I'm debating whether I want to keep it plain like this, because the whole purpose of me being in an office, or like, not the whole purpose, but one of the reasons why I wanted to get into this office is like, because I felt like even at my other house in New York, the background was distracting. There was a lot of crap behind me. So I'm debating whether I want to just keep this white like this or throw some things behind me. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw a picture back there or something. But
does my background seem too busy to you? A little bit?
No, it's not that it seems busy. It's no.
Maybe you should do like a solid color so that you could just keep changing your background really easily. Seem to like that.
You mean I'm gonna do like a green,
like a green screen or something?
Green screen. Yeah,
it could be like you're on a golf course or something.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, anyway.
Golf has been, that's another like a sore subject, man, with my friggin' hip. You were just down here for golf, and the first two rounds were good. The last two, man, my hip was killing me. I got to get this thing fixed. But anyway,
that's your excuse for not keeping up with me in my drives? That's right.
No, my excuse was that you were playing the ladies' tees and I was playing the back tees. That was the difference.
So they were 100 yards apart when I was hitting 100 yards. Yeah.
Yeah. And you still lost.
Yeah, sure.
So you didn't? 2 days.
I'm talking about drives here. I'm not talking about anything else.
Right.
But I was on point with my drives. You got to give me that.
Yeah, you were playing well. By the way, Kev, today we're going to talk about something. We're coming into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and it's not really possible for us to come on this podcast every single week and drum up a new topic that we've never talked about, because truth be told, like we deal with the same things over and over. And, today's topic is going to be about landing pages and congruency with your Facebook ads or whatever ads you're running. And, you would think that it's kind of uh, like common sense, but, to make your ad and your landing page and the messaging be the same on both, or, the images or whatever. But what happens, I think, a lot, and I know I've fallen into this trap before, is that as marketers or people trying to sell things, we're trying to get as much of our pitch like out. So we think, okay, the ad and the image is one thing, and then the landing page is something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because this topic came up in my head when we were discussing a topic today because of something that's going on with a client of mine. But it's also like throughout the day today, it was weird because we continued to talk about landing pages and things like that. So I thought it was a good topic. But the main reason why it came up was that I started running a new ad campaign for one of our clients, and it was for as crazy as it sounds, it's for a stool, like a poop test. It's to rate your poop because they have a constipation supplement in in their store. So we wanted to put out this quiz that asked people about their exercise activity, but then it's to ask them like to select which picture on the screen looks like the poops that they have recently, and then it kind of gives them results of what that means about their digestion. So we were starting this whole campaign, and we have a specific target audience for this company and this product, which is like older women. And when we started creating the ad, like I thought I found some things that really kind of made it feel like it had some the theme of the ad matched what we were trying to do on our landing page. But when the client came back, they had other thoughts, and they gave me a picture of this younger woman, right? It was a younger woman, like with this thinking face on. She was kind of looking up, like, you can't see what I'm doing, but she was kind of like gazing into the sky, thinking about something. So I'm like, okay, I don't see it making much sense for this young woman to be thinking about her poop at that time. And that those two messagings didn't make sense to me. But like when I put it into the ad because my client wanted it, it began to drive like a ton of traffic. Like it was getting like, 20 cent clicks or something, but no one was actually completing the test. And I'm like, okay, so the first thought is like, okay, I'm getting people to the landing page, so maybe my landing page is not working correctly, and they're not seeing what they're supposed to be seeing when they get there. So maybe I should change the landing page. And I kept tweaking it, and still nothing was really working. And then I'm like, well, traffic is great. A lot of people, a lot of companies focus on traffic, and they think traffic's awesome, and cheap traffic is even better. Like maybe we're just sending the wrong people to the landing page because of the image that's on the Facebook ad, right? So maybe it's just people seeing this like good-looking younger woman in a Facebook ad is just clicking, and they're getting somewhere where they have no idea why they're there, and it's not what they were expecting to see. So that's kind of like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, that's kind of like what brought this up, because it's so important to make sure you're messaging from your ad and your landing page and the objective that you want out of that click to all kind of match up and be in sync.
Well, I think the bigger thing with this is that an ad on Facebook is really just bait, and my stepfather used to tell me this all the time. He's like, where I'm from in New York is right on the Long Island Sound. And he used to tell me all the time, he's like, look, you're not going to go in the Long Island Sound and drop a minnow in the water to try to catch a shark, right? Like they're not going to be attracted to it. They're not going to be. And likewise, you're not going to go in the Long Island Sound to find sharks, because that's not really where they are. So although they have been kind of creeping in there lately, but the point of the matter is, your ad on Facebook is merely just bait. It really is just to try and attract your ideal customer. So if you're putting an ad out that shows this 25-year-old beautiful, girl or male or female or whatever, you're going to attract, by that bait, people who tend to see themselves like that, right?
Mhm.
Which is going to kind of go against your objective of the ad, because you're trying to attract older people, in this case, who have a constipation problem, right? Who's having a quote unquote poop problem. So if you're older and you have a poop problem and you see an ad of a beautiful young lady or a really good looking guy, the two aren't going to make sense. They're not going to match up. You may catch fish. You're just not going to catch the kind of fish that you intend on catching. So the idea of this is not to simply, just put, in this case, again, an image that just looks nice in your ad, because you're going to get the wrong people. So what you surmised out of this was that, hey, I'm getting a lot of clicks, and that's great. Everybody wants clicks. Everybody, like, that's where it all starts, but nobody is filling out the quiz. So, that this is the thought process that goes into it. Like, okay, the ad is working, the landing page isn't. Now there's a couple ways to deal with this. You can either say, okay, let me work on my landing page, but to the trained eye, it's very obvious that it's the bait, that we're attracting the wrong person. Now, we always say, look at these things as a process. If your ad's not working, tweak it until it works. And then your landing page is not working, tweak it until it works. But, if the landing page isn't working, but it's attracting the wrong people, then it's not always so cut and dry as to get the clicks, then work on the landing page. Because in this case, it's just the wrong people.
Yeah. And when I brought this up, and the response back was like, well, we say exactly what we're doing on our landing page and exactly what we're looking for in the copy of our ad. Now, we know, especially when you put like a pretty good looking woman in front of somebody on Facebook, it might just be like, I'm not reading. Most people don't read. They see a pretty picture and they just start clicking around. I do it all the time. So it's almost like there's all these individual pieces that kind of need to match up and be in sync. Your text, right? There are going to be people who are going to read more just because that's what they do. But there's going to be those people who just see an image or something, and that image needs to communicate as well. Just like when you go over to the landing page, it's got to communicate in the same way. So since I've done that, there has been I've changed some images. Like we did some, toilet bowl images, and it's crazy to think that I got this constipation medicine that I'm dealing with, but I got somebody holding a toilet paper, those kinds of things that put in your mind that what you're going to expect on the next page, and to trigger that, oh, there's a toilet there. I have this issue. I have this problem. It kind of sparks in their mind. And then you kind of, present them the solution, or in this case, like a quiz to learn more. So since then, we've gotten the cost per click, which was low to begin with, have cut in half. And we're sending more of the right people there because we're converting on this quiz more frequently. So that's kind of the main thing here is because when you're on Facebook and you have a certain mindset and you're just scrolling around looking at your friends' pictures or your pets or whatever, and you move to another platform or another landing page and you're taken somewhere that doesn't make any sense, you're people are just going to drop off and just bounce. If you have that consistent messaging, even the coloring, the branding that goes from one platform or another, it just helps people stick around.
Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klavio. Klavio's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klavio helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klavio integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klavio's best performing templates. Klavio gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klavio, visit klavio.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real, the holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inboxes flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point because, you know, you were getting a lot of clicks and they were the wrong clicks, but then you tightened up the ad and the image and you got even better results, which is, you know, obviously that's pretty interesting because you would think that you were getting good clicks until you really were getting good clicks or, you know, good cost. And, yeah, I mean, like I look, you know, I like to look at it like this. It's like when you're scrolling Facebook, the image catches your attention, right? So the young girl or the young guy, whoever is in that image is going to stop people, but it's going to kind of stop everybody, so to speak, right? It's going to kind of attract a lot of different people where if the video or the image, kind of matches the copy, you'll get the kind of results that you're getting. And what I think is even more interesting in all of this is like how, like, when I was running that golf ad that we had, right? Like, I hear people saying about how good video is. I feel like images work better. Like, I don't know. I've just seen from what I see, like the golf thing we were doing, Kev, the thing for the constipation thing. I mean, almost everybody we work with, video doesn't work as well for some reason.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to consume when it comes. There's like a big commitment almost when you're watching a video a little bit, and it's almost too much. I think like you want to get them from the Facebook ad to your destination, I think sooner, right? And maybe that's part of the reason why you feel that way. I don't know any specific examples. Like, you know, our one client, they do awesome with videos, like, but they're quick 15-second videos. Images don't work as well. So it really depends.
Well, that particular product you need to see in action. So it makes sense. But like, I feel like for me, like when I see, like, for instance, I see a golf video, I feel like I can judge that person way more critically than I would if I just saw an image, which can ultimately turn me off.
Right. So you can make a decision about somebody prior to actually seeing what the real value you want to give them. Right.
Yeah. And like, I feel like I get too lost in the video where I kind of like, you know, the more they talk and it's almost like the less I believe them. You know what I mean? Where like, if I see like an image that catches my eye, I feel like I tend to respond to that better. I don't know what it is, man. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, like that, like the golf ad we were running, like, I mean, I can't see a video doing any better than what it was doing.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you'd have to test, but I do like your thoughts on like the whole bait thing, the analogy with the whole bait and fish thing. Like, you're gonna put different types of bait out there for different types of people. Like I have a lake out my back, like I have a certain bait that's going to catch bass, more likely to catch bass than like a whatever other fish. And I'm not really a fisherman, but smaller type fish. You know, I got this big friggin' lure on the end of my line that's not going to catch like little tiny fish. So, and I think that's why a lot of times if you get to a certain stage of your Facebook ads, you can let your ad do the targeting for you. Like you don't need any of these pinpoint ninja targeting audience techniques. Like if you put the right content out there, it'll attract the right people. And that gives you the ability to broaden your audience a bit.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started with Facebook ads, we used to always say, like, if they don't work quickly, they probably never will work. We kind of gotten away from that, but it's so true. Like if they work at first, there's a good chance they'll work forever. If they don't work at first, there's a good chance they won't work at all. So
yeah, I mean, you got to give it time, and you got to give it time. You got to give Facebook time to learn. I know we were talking about landing pages here. We kind of got into Facebook ads, but I think even you got to think about, you really got to think about your objectives in the end of what you want. I mean, I was even like, as we're talking about that, I'm thinking about the journal, and I'm like, thinking the bait that we put out there with our journal a year ago. And now we're like, our goal in this was to acquire a customer and have them recur payments for, X amount of years. But we're realizing like some of the bait that we put out there maybe weren't the right type of bait to keep that retention going.
Well, we were giving away a $13,000 lens or like a $6,000 workshop or whatever. And it was attracting people who just wanted the lens and they didn't really care about the journal. So long term, they weren't as committed because we were using kind of bait that just attracted anybody.
Right. Exactly. But back to our original point, that bait that you put out on Facebook or social media or even email, like you throw an email, it's just like having bait too. When they end up on your property or your website or whatever, you want to have, a very specific landing page that has a really clear message on it. And not only
that matches the ad.
Though. That matches the ad. Like, just like what I said, you're not gonna put up an ad for like baseball bats and send them to a web page that has golf clubs.
Or I mean, even like something even less obvious is that like you're not gonna send metal or aluminum bat ads to people that play in the Major League Baseball.
Right.
Like they're not going to use those, right? Like they're going to use them and they're not going to buy anything from your ads because they get everything for free. But the point is you have to know who you're going after and the kind of bait that you're using. And you have to make sure that that bait and that message is consistent from the ad all the way out to checkout.
And I think a lot of people make mistakes too, is just like sending traffic to like their homepage or even product pages, which can work, which I'm not going to say it doesn't, because we do that. But in a lot of instances, it's really good to create a very specific, clean landing page without any distractions, with clear calls to action, with clear messaging that has one sole purpose is to get that person to your objective, and everything else is gone. There's no other buttons. There's no other links. Nothing. And I think that's a really important thing to test both. Like, it's funny. I was thinking about this too before we got on it. Is like, my clients will come to us and they'll be like, you think we should do this? They're like, yes, we should test that. Is it going to work? I don't know. Like you totally have to test it. Like we know the way it should be structured, where things should be, but like, we can't go ahead and tell you what's going to work and what's not going to work. It's a matter of testing and just continuing to test and change things up and optimize, get your landing page to a point where it works well, and then continue to like massage it and continue to, fix it and make it convert better.
Right.
So that's about it. That's all I had on it. I mean,
the moral of the story is you got to make sure it's all consistent. And even though it sounds like common sense, it's, common sense isn't so common, right?
Yeah, especially when you have such limited attention span from everybody coming from these social media channels in and out all day long. I mean, think about it. Like this ad, this constipation ad, we're getting like we're not spending a lot of money. We're spending like $20 a day, but we're getting 200 people there a day. Just think about how many people that is. It's like they're coming in so fast, they're leaving so fast. You gotta, capitalize on that when you can.
Right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, you can check us out at eCommerceUncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.
Attention e-commerce founders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, marketers, and growth hackers. If you're working around the clock to build your dream e-commerce business, you need an e-commerce marketing platform that works just as hard as you do. That means you need Klavio. With Klavio, you'll delight customers and drive revenue at the same time. With personalized email and SMS marketing campaigns, you can design and send in minutes. For more, visit klavio.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Are you struggling to respond to all your social media comments, DMs, and customer emails? Well, you're not alone. That's why ChatDesk came up with a solution to supercharge your support team instantly. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading brands such as Thinx and Shea Moisture lean on ChatDesk to increase revenue and customer satisfaction. Get started for free at chatdesk.com or click on the link in our show notes.